Hello and welcome to Gar Goes Alone, day number 32. So, what do we got here? What we have is some Super Dungeon Explore that I am going to try and paint. Because way back a whole month ago when we started this streaming venture, on day 2, I painted a few of these. And apparently people quite enjoyed it, so I am happy to do more because I also enjoy it. Um, So the miniatures we have today are from which expansion is this? The Mistmon Coast Warband set, which is no, I cannot do that without moving the camera, and I don't really want to do that. Well, hang on, now here we go, and it's backwards because of the strange things I have to do to make the camera work for this. Oh, hello. Wandering monster, apparently. Either come on the stream properly or git. So yes. Last stream we painted a few squirrels, which were the sort of standard size miniatures. Um, so I wanted to have a go at painting some bigger ones. So these two are Ghostfire Warriors. This is the card for them, which we'll be using as a reference a bit, unless I don't happen to have the colours that it suggests, in which case we'll do our own thing. Um, I don't really have a plan for um, how these are going to progress, so who knows. And the other thing to cover before we get started is what paints we'll be using. I can only really go by brand because I don't know what colours yet, but I will need to unmirror the webcam for this to work, I think. Yes. Oh, never mind. But these are Citadel Miniatures Paints, which is the Games Workshop brand, I think. So we've got a bunch of those. We also have a bunch of Model Master acrylics, which I'm not such a fan of. We just picked them up from our local model shop, and they're a bit gooey and starting to dry already. So, but that's an option. And we also have um, Formula P3, which are a couple that we just bought a few days ago, and I have not had a chance to try yet, so I have no idea if that's going to work out or not. But if we need whatever colors we got, orange and brown, maybe we'll find out. But so this one is completely bare except for the shoulders, which I've done already. We're going to put him off to the side, and I'm going to keep working on this one, which I started to prepare earlier. Um, so what have we done so far? We have done. I'm going to put this on autofocus and see how we go. I'll probably regret it, but um, I may have to tweak this manually. Oh, there we go. That's not too bad. So far I've done I did the undercoat, also with the Citadel Miniatures um, spray undercoat, and a base layer on the face, and and it's gone. Alright, we're gonna do that manually. Because autofocus is poop. So yeah, I've done the hair, and we've done the shoulder pads, and the scale mail, and we have started doing his, I guess, mantle or whatever you want to call that. Um, and his loincloth, which is back behind the sword, which is going to be a massive pain in the ass, I think. Painting back there, because you got to get. I've got trouble seeing it. It's a very, very small gap back between there to work with. So that will be fun. But yeah, enough talk. Let's do. So I'm a little bit worried because I started painting this last time I was just on my own, and I'm hoping I know which color I was using. Oh, this is going to be very embarrassing. Some very kind people last time were suggesting that I use a film canister or something to attach to the bottom of this to give me some more dexterity when I'm painting, and I do appreciate that feedback, and I'm going to try and do that. But for now, this is what you get, because I don't have any film canisters. As it turns out, it's been a long time since I shot anything on film. So, normally, when you're painting miniatures, hang on, I'm going to move the mic because I tend to lean right in, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me okay. And I'll try not to drift away from the mic, but apologies if I do. Hopefully someone will let me know in the chat. Yeah, so normally what you would want to do, and given to understand, is water the paint down to let the detail through, and that's generally something I do. But the thing with the Sodapop miniatures, or at least with Super Dungeon Explorer, I don't know if it's true for all of Sodapop's lines, but Super Dungeon Explorer is a very chibi anime themed game, and so we want bright colours, and I find that they end up too muted and washy if I dilute them very much. So I'm going to just be very careful to try and not dump too much paint on this and hope that'll be okay. I mean, it's tough luck otherwise, because it's not like I can take the paint off again, really. These aren't like metal miniatures where you might be able to get away with doing the dodgy and using acetone, unless there's some magical substance that someone makes that removes paint from plastic or resin or whatever these are without softening the plastic. And I mean, that'd be awesome if that is the case, but I kind of doubt it. Forgot to fix my focus. Hopefully that looks better for you. So maybe use just like too big brush. I'm getting some mess here, but that's okay. The mess is going onto the scale mail, which is alright, because the paint that we use for that is super thick and can cover little mistakes, or happy little accidents, pretty thoroughly. So I'm not too bothered. I want to get right up in here, even though you can't see it unless you really go and try and get in there. Because I'll know it's there, and it'll bug the hell out of me. Alright, so we've got a lot of just underneath his mantle. There's a bit of plastic and undercoat showing through still. So we shouldn't be going over this bit again, so I guess we'll detail it out now while we're here. Sorry, I have to turn it this way, otherwise I can't see what I'm doing. How are you doing today, Internet? I hope you had a wonderful Monday, or you're having a good Sunday, wherever you happen to be in the world. Yeah. Just because I'm painting, I can still... doesn't mean I can't look at the chat, so... happy to... oh, that could have been messy. I'd rather not get paint all over this desk, because this is my computer desk. I mean, I'm sure it's going to happen. There's only so much paper towel can do. Alright. How's the back? Did we finish up here? Yeah, we finished that. It's finished enough for me, so... excuse me for 1 second, I just need to duck away from the keyboard. Sorry about the interruption there, we're back. And we're going to tidy up the scale mail I made a mess of on the front. Because I hate leaving a mess. There we go. And that's all I need to do. So what do I do next? It's daunting painting these big guys. I actually don't know where to go next. I guess we can paint the rest of the flesh in on his legs and arms and hands. That's probably not the worst idea I've had. I think we're about to have a wandering monster again. Could you not drink the water I'm washing my brushes in? Yes, paint is not for eating. Oh, hello. I'm glad she's not too interested in messing with what I've been painting. That would be much more problematic. And that's one of our 3 cats. That's Artemis. So if you're playing along at home, the colour I'm currently using is Moot Green from the Citadel paints range. It is a layer and it works quite well for getting a nice bright vibrant colour onto the model, and it goes on just thick enough to hide the base plastic, but it's not so thick that it hides all the detail. Like, I probably wouldn't go painting it over like the details on the mouth and the eyes, but for stuff like this, it's perfect. days I will learn not to take brushes this size into areas that size. Because all I do is make more tidy up work for myself for later. Leave the edges for the detail brush, I think. Would be the smarter option. It's always so tempting to say, I've got all this paint here and I've got a nice brush, let's just slap it all on. Looks like I was doing there. Should really practice what I preach, maybe. How about that? It's not bad apart from the little mess I made. I don't know if we'll get through painting all of this guy tonight. This is not going to be a speed paint because I am not that good. In fact, I'm not good at all. Until about a month or so ago, I had not painted miniatures in well over 10 years. I wasn't good then, and I'm learning now. Like, I've learned a lot of things that I didn't know when I was young. That's improved my painting a lot, but I am probably not someone you should be learning from. I think there's probably much better resources on the internet if you want to learn how to do miniature painting. Pretty much everything I currently know came from either watchingtested.com, who do great videos, and a friend of the show who does a lot of wargaming and model painting, was kind enough to invite us to a sort of, I hesitate to even say workshop, but yeah, let's pretend that's what it was. And we painted we learnt how to do the basics. Got lots of bits of green where there shouldn't be green. Oh. That works too, Artie. Perhaps it would have been better for me to shut the cats out, but I can't say no to them. They're too cute and fluffy. This is a very frustrating model to paint. Bits everywhere. And I'm sure that someone who actually paints models a lot as a hobby that they've done for, more than a month is probably laughing at that. And they're probably right too, but having only painted so far pretty small and simple things, painting this is a whole different thing. I really want it to look good, because these models may not be the best quality, but I do love them so much. And we met the guys and girls who make this game at PAX Australia last year, and they're a bunch of really nice people, so it would like to do them proud. Oh, look at all that detail in there I can't get at. I mean, I can. It's just, how many other bits do I accidentally paint in the process? Alright, let's get his hand. Before I forget. Oh. some collateral damage on his face already. I guess if I can't see in there to paint them, the chance of anyone else being able to see that I didn't paint that bit is probably pretty low. Okay. I think it's leg time. Leg day. Hello. Oh. God, how do I say that? Cloak? Cloak W? I'm going to say thank you for the kind words because I'm afraid I do not understand. I'm sorry. I'm going to assume you are saying nice things because when in doubt, always assume nice things because there is enough horribleness in the world without imagining more. That may or may not exist. Tell you what, we'll throw that into Google Translate. See what it says. No idea. Google is not helpful in this situation, as it turns out. Wait, you know what? I'm going to put a darker color around a lot of these bits anyway. So let's just get the paint on there and we'll sort out the mess we've made later. That is a problem for future Gar to deal with, not current Gar. What do you know? Not an anatomically correct goblin. And maybe goblins don't keep their genitals there, but this guy's got nothing going on down there. This guy's not so scary. I do have a boss monster sitting around here that could be painted as well. He's a bit more. He's got a lot of finicky bits. Oh, I'm making a terrible mess. And that is okay. No one's going to see under there, right? Sure. Let's go with that. I'm too scared to beat the devil out of this, because water will go everywhere on my desk. In fact, it has done, I've just noticed. Whoops, my bad. Oh well. And getting paint on the base doesn't matter for now, because when we're done we're going to paint the base anyway, so... I mean, still try, because it's good practice, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Good. Made a thorough mess of that. Excellent. Good, good, good. So that's most of the... That's a bit we missed. is how we're doing so far. Not too bad. Hang on. I'm a little. I've been avoiding tackling the sword so far, but maybe now is the time. Maybe now we do the sword. Why not? Alright, so now this is Citadel Lead Belcher. I think we'll stick to the detail brush for now. Just so we only get this where we want it. Because I don't anticipate this bit changing too drastically. So as you can see with this paint, it goes on very thick. You don't need much, and it covers pretty much anything that goes underneath it. There's a little bit on the hand, but it's okay. We need to do a detailed pass of all the edges of the skin anyway, so I'm not too bothered by that. Do want to be careful not to get too much of this onto the blade of the sword though, because the colours on there are actually surprisingly light, and I don't fancy light colours are going to stack very well on top of Lead Belcher. So I'm trying not to mess this up too badly. No pressure. Oh, speaking of messing up, here comes a cat. Wandering monster time again. Oh, please don't move the camera. There's a lot of work getting that where it is. Oh. Are you done? Can I get back to work now? Doing this with a detail brush is just painful because it's so goopy. Alright. So, there's sort of 3 different colours going on with this sword. They're all doing very distinct things. And this one is by far and away the thickest of the 3, so it goes on first. Will we live to regret our decision? Possibly. Oh, there we go. Alright. So that's the edge done, not too badly. Actually happy with that. Alright, now we're going to move on to using one of my least favourite paints. Model Master. Unfortunately, it's the only really bright red we have. In fact, I think it's the only red we have. And it appears it's actually dried shut. Which is not a problem that has... Oh, there we go. This is not a problem I've had with any of the other paints. Maybe someone with more modeling experience than me could tell me why these are good, but I'm sure there is probably good points to them, but so right now that doesn't look too great. There's bits of bone that have got red on them, right? My thinking, though, is a lot of that bone bit could probably just be dry brushed on. Done with this red for a little bit, but we will need it again for the shield. Actually, no, maybe we should do that now while it's out, in case it dries shut again. Again, this is going to be bordered on both sides by our metallic grey, so it will just blow away any bits of red that go where they shouldn't, so not an issue. Probably would have benefited from like going over this with more of a coat of white first, but oh well. You live, you learn. Maybe. Theoretically, you learn. Yeah, that looks like a mess right now, but once we put the metal grey over it, it'll look fine. Now we can put that red away, and it'll probably jam itself shut in about 5 minutes. So here's an interesting one. Doing the bone. I think it's going to be this. It's the closest thing I've got. Look, even this goes over the even this goes over the silver quite nicely. It's not quite the color I would want though. See, Rin was doing some painting the other night. She did a really good bone colour. And I wouldn't mind knowing how she did it. I see him probably mixing this up a bit, but she's not here, so I can't ask. So, just make do with what we have got. Let's see how dry brushing this on goes. Oh, perfect. Let's touch up the red a little bit now, but not quite done with the red yet. As it turns out. Not super happy with that, but it'll do for now. Actually, there's more red we need to do. We'll just get all this red out of the way now, because I hate using it. And if we get it out of the way now, I won't have to use it again. Hopefully. So according to our reference, his loincloth is by and large red. Which... let's try and get this right. I would say this paint isn't bugging me as much today as it was last time I used it. Like, it's not amazing, but... it just doesn't quite go on thick enough for my tastes. Like, it's probably fine for... if you're going for a more realistic look, it's probably quite good. But... realistic isn't really Super Dungeon Explorer's thing. I mean, I guess it could be if you wanted it to be, but... the art style certainly has ideas about what it wants to be, and... gritty realism isn't it. This is one of those bits where no matter which way I approach painting it, it's gonna be... there we go. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. Okay. So then going around with one last pass of the flesh green is pretty much the last thing we're going to do on this model before we start applying washes to it. Because, boy, am I making some messes here. Alright, doesn't look like there's any way I can really do this bit so you can see it particularly well. I really need, like, like a head-mounted camera or something. I could modify a Davy lamp or something so it's got a camera instead of a torch. That'd be a thing. I'm sure someone's done it before. I mean, I guess it's probably what, like, GoPro mounting things are for, but if I had $500 to spend on a GoPro, I'm pretty sure I'd spend it on a Capture 3DS instead. Damn, there's a lot of 3DS games I'd love to stream for you all, but not gonna happen until I'm either a lot richer or the Australian dollar is a lot stronger compared to everyone else. But I get the feeling we're not going to finish this by the time I have to wind up this evening. That's okay. I can either finish it in my own time and come back and show you, or we can stream this again. If you would like to express your preference for that one way or another, and you have a Twitter account, you can see my Twitter handle right there on the overlay. So you can contact me and tell me all manner of things. Anything that you feel like. And I will read it and probably reply to it. I can't guarantee I'll listen to it, but it will pass through my eyeballs and into the sensory perception parts of my brain. And I will process your message. You're going to have to do a very long tidy up pass on this when we're done with everything else, because I have not been as careful as I should have been. So, just thinking about what needs doing next. Maybe I should finish up with the belt while we're working on it. I think we're done with the red for now. Actually, no, we're not. Today's stream is brought to you by the color red. And the letter R for rage, also for red. But when dealing with this red, mostly rage. I'm currently getting, you can't see this because there is no way of me getting the camera on it, but the loincloth, like the inside of the loincloth between this guy's legs. It's a glamorous job. Someone's got to do it. I'm just going to smear red all in there because all I can see is undercoat. So this stuff is even hard to clean off the brush. Any of the other colours and it just sort of lifts off. I mean, I guess maybe this is designed to be more durable. What now? Probably the silver on the shield. That seems like a fun thing to do. It'll make... No, damn it, we said we were going to do the rest of his belt first. Alright. Back to Doom Bull Brown again. I try not to use too many distinct colours on these because I think it's a better effect if you can sort of have sort of coordinated bits and pieces. Possibly not the most realistic, but it's satisfying to me. I'm really looking forward to putting washes on this because there's a lot of detail on this fellow that will just leap out the moment a wash gets applied to him. See, for me, putting a wash on is kind of like, it's the icing on the cake. It's your reward for all the patience of getting all this shit right or wrong. And it's like, right, now I get to make this thing come alive. And to ape a phrase that Adam Savage is very fond of, it covers a lot of your sins. Any little mistakes can almost be blended into nothing if you have like a dark wash in all the little, because the wash tends to go where most of your mistakes are going to happen. So in the really little fiddly deep bits. And if there's a wash there, it kind of minimizes the impact that will have. So on the card for this guy, It does have all the edge bits of his loincloth a different color as well. Am I brave enough to attempt that? Ooh, this is getting on a bit, excuse me. This is not going on as thick and bright as I would like. Maybe a second coat will help that. Detail work is where I really start to fall down, unfortunately. It is not my strong suit at all. In case that wasn't already abundantly obvious. We can have a crack at it, but no idea how it'll end up. Yeah. Broadly speaking, he's not going too badly so far. You look at him from a distance, is it right? Alright, let's see. Let's see what we can do. With the fringe of his loincloth. Because it gets pretty narrow, especially up here. It's not so bad because I'm using a similar color, I guess. It's hard to see my little accidents. Yeah, it doesn't really do much for me, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think we need that. I mean, it's there now, that's fine, but I don't think it's adding very much as far as I'm concerned. But we will finish what we've started. Maybe your opinion will differ. Maybe you'll think it looks much better with it. Maybe a different colour would have been a good option, but this is what we're going with. This is what we're getting, at least for this one. Luckily, if I really do tank this one, I do have another one of these, so I guess in a way this is sort of a practice. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I do not think the returns are worth it. I think a much better value proposition is putting the details we need on his shield. So for that we're going to go back to lead belcher. This is where we start to make good on the utter pig of a job that I did on this. Although the way this, because these paints weren't necessarily designed to work together, the silver is not sitting super well on the red, so we may have to do a second pass of this. Ooh, that was a poor effort on my part. But hey, maybe goblins just aren't super good at painting their shields. They don't strike me as the kind who'd be too fastidious about that sort of thing. What do you think, chat? I mean, we can always touch it up, but maybe our excuse that goblins just aren't very good at military decor will sit well enough. Sorry, trying to get this so that you can see it as we go, but I also need to be able to see what I'm doing, unfortunately. Wouldn't that be a hell of a thing? Trying to paint some miniatures, like, blindfolded. Yeah. So, sorry, drifted off into thought there for a second, trying to plan my next move. So we got this looking alright. A few little bits of mess here, but it's not too bad. We're starting to get down to the details. What have we got left to do? We've got the bands on it. He's got these bands on his arms and legs that need doing. And whatever these are. I'm not even entirely sure what they're meant to be. So I don't know what colour we're going to do them. And yeah, he's got sort of wrist guards there, which I think will probably be some kind of mixture of leather and bone. Bone for these bits and leather for the bands, so that's not so hard. These ones, I don't know, maybe grey. You could say they're like fur cuffs or something. But what I'm thinking is we've got two more bits of his armor to do. We've got the outer rim of his shield, and we've also got these little rim of his shoulder pads. And what I'm sort of thinking is maybe we go really bold. this is... Hang on. I swear I could do something about that. There we go. Should have done that to start with. Yeah. Cobalt blue for the rim of his shield and his shoulder pads. That'll sort of tie his armor together nicely, I hope. You know, maybe we'll end up thinking this is one color too many. Oh, that probably sounded awful, I'm sorry. I'm going to mute myself for 2 seconds. So what happened there is my microphone fell off of its bracket. It's probably not ideal. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this now. But hey, started, might as well finish. Maybe bronze would have been a better color. I don't know. Maybe it'll work more once we've got the shoulder pads on board with this too. Because then it won't look quite so out of place. Yeah, I think we're going to have to wind this up pretty soon. So, how about I'll finish doing this, the shield bezel, and then we'll play one round of GeoGuessr just to close things off. A little treat for anyone who's stuck around, and for anyone who might be watching the replay on YouTube. I won't mention it in the description, I'll just let people find it. So anyone who happens to be watching replays of these will get a little bit extra. Oop, that nearly went badly. I'm determined to try and spill paint all over my desk, apparently. And also not actually get any on my damn brush. Yeah, definitely got some this time. Well, I can't leave this in suspense. I want to know how this is going to look if I put it on his, I guess, say pauldrons? That's the shoulder pieces, right? See if this ties it together or if it still looks dumb. I think that does work actually. I was worried for a minute there, but I think we're going to be okay. Then let's do the other one. I don't think this is coming out as well as my squirrels, but it's my first crack at a big dude, so I'll let it go. Hopefully the next one comes out a bit better than this. Maybe I'll get a better detail brush for next time, because this one is not the best. I'm not going to blame my tools, it's largely my lack of experience as well. But hey, guess what? There's only one way to change that, and that is by painting stuff. That's one thing our friend Cruzy, who gave us the workshop, would say. Is when I mentioned how abysmal my job was at painting these Warhammer when I was younger, and his response was, "Well, did you have fun? Yeah, and you succeeded." And yeah, I mean, this is super relaxing. The only reason I'm going to stop is because there'll be dinner coming soon. Otherwise, I'd happily keep going for the rest of the evening. Speaking of which, we are streaming every day this year, so if you'd like to see more, we're playing lots of Xenoblade Chronicles X at the moment, but there'll be more painting, there'll be more GeoGuessr, which we'll get to in just a moment. So yeah, if you do enjoy this on any level and you'd like to see more of it, feel free to follow our channel or our YouTube page, or both, because there will be plenty more coming over the next 300 and something days. And after, I mean, we're not just going to shut up shop when my year of streaming every day is done. I will probably just back off the whole doing it every day thing a little bit, so I don't completely lose touch with my sanity. Alright. Depending on where that car is pulled up, we may not get time for GeoGuessr, because it may be my call to go and have some eats. I mean, I guess we could just go on break and come back, but it would be a bit of a long break, so I don't really want to don't really want to do that to you. So yeah, this is. Yeah, I put it on autofocus and we'll see if we can get some decent up close vision of that. You gonna focus? Hello? Oh, thank you, Incognito77. Hang on. The webcam is not. Oh, so now it autofocuses. Wait for it. Nah, screw autofocus. Autofocus is for chumps. So yeah, not perfect. There's definitely some touch up that needs to be done around here, and lots of touch up that needs to be done around the borders of like the skin and pretty much everything. But that's okay. We're gonna do a detail pass on this when we're done with these bands and these bands. Yeah, so we'll fill that in probably next time we stream because yeah, I'm gonna have to scoot soon. But yeah, we'll fill those in and then we'll tidy up and then we'll do a wash or two, which is my favorite part of this whole experience by a long shot. Thank you. Thank you very much, Incognito. You're very kind. It's not too bad. It's my first attempt at a sort of bigger figure, so I'm reasonably happy with how it turned out. Um, but yeah, I'll set up again tomorrow and we will finish this because I would hate to leave a project unfinished, and even if that does mean I don't get to play Xenoblade for another day or two. But yeah, so that's what we started with. That's where we're going. So let us, as promised, play a quick fire round of GeoGuessr before I call this stream for tonight and go and have my foods. So that's more or less where that lives. I'll sort it out properly later. Oh, look at me, I'm so fuzzy. Where'd my webcam? Yeah, bugger it. We're only playing a game of GeoGuessr. You guys don't need to see me clearly. That is so not the point. Not the point of this at all. So if you're not familiar with this, GeoGuessr is fantastic. It's a dead simple game. It drops you in a random point on Google Street View somewhere in the world. It could be anywhere, and you have to guess because you don't get a map to tell you where you are. So you have to guess where you are. I will update. So you get 5 places to guess. So I'll update the game on Twitch. Single player. Yeah. This game is very, very addictive. You have to sort of look and use what you know to try and figure out where it is. So the pro strats are to figure out what side of the road people are driving on and what language the street signs are in. So probably not English. People are driving on the right hand side of the road. Um, so probably Eastern Europe somewhere. Um, but it's not Cyrillic, so it's not Russia or anywhere that eastern. So I'm gonna like we're not gonna spend ages on this. It's just a sort of quick bookend to the stream. So we can say that it's not Cyrillic and it is Eastern Europe because these cars are kind of old and it's cold climate because of the trees. So let's go with Slovenia, somewhere around this part of the world. Turkey, apparently. There you go. Turkey, damn. I should have left this to you. I should have left this to you, Incognito. Oh, hello. This is this is a whole thing. Is that a sign? Thank you. For what? Oh, this is gonna. So, driving on the right hand side of the road again. Coldish climate. Maybe it's Turkey again. I swear I've been on this one before. Okay, well, they speak English. So, oh, maybe it's just England. Wouldn't that be a plot twist if this is just England? Cripple Creek Road. Actually, that sounds like an Australian place name. But I'm pretty sure whoever those people were, they were driving on the wrong side of the road. But having said that, there are some places in Australia where that wouldn't stop people either. But I'm gonna go with. Actually, no, wait, if they're driving on the other side of the road, it couldn't be England. Oh, that's a thing. Damn. Where in a pretty cold climate do they speak English and drive on the wrong side of the road? Canada? Yeah, why not? It probably is Australia, but it's probably just. Ah, well, right landmass anyway. Okay, southern United States or Australia, or maybe really rural Russia, but I'm gonna go with the first two because they are the places that generally have the really toilets. Um, Street view images. That's the word I'm looking for. And I'm not seeing anything to give us an indication. What side of the road is that person driving on? Right hand side, so. America! Kansas? Alabama, actually. I didn't know the southern states that well. New Mexico? Louisiana. Yeah, let's go Louisiana. Oh, it was Australia. Well, that was. Huh. Yeah, I was really stupid just then. That car was behind the Google car. So where in Australia is it? Oh, what a miserable place. Okay, this is Canada or the United States. Oh, I guess it could be Russia actually. Yeah, I want to go with Russia because these roads are terrible. I'm sorry, Russia, but you do not take good care of your roads. I mean, fair enough in a country as big as Russia is. Hey, look, I got that really close. Um, Comparatively, given the size of the country I had to work with. Alright, road signs. I think this is America. Big pickup trucks everywhere. Oh, hello. That's not quite. Oh, Buffalo. Yep. Montana. I know Buffalo, I think. Pretty sure it's Montana. That general area, anyway. Great Falls. Yeah, it's around here somewhere. But I'm not sure exactly where it is. But I know it's somewhere around this general area. Sadly enough, from Train Simulator. Well, apart from that complete miss of, well, sides of the international dateline, we did reasonably well considering I was just sort of flicking through it. Alrighty. Well, that was a lot of fun, and I'm sorry it could not go on for longer, but duty calls. So yeah, if you enjoyed what you've seen and you'd like to see more of it, please feel free to follow the channel. Also, we do upload all of our streams to youtube.com/garfacemcgar if there's something you want to catch up on particularly. If you got positive or negative feedback, I'm happy to hear either, and you can grab me on Twitter at garfacemcgar. We're here every day this year, so there's plenty more content to go around. I may have said that already. Either way, yeah, be good to one another between now and when I see you next. And yeah, good night.